This is VG Time, bringing you an expert deck sell profile showing ways that you could upgrade the deck to get a little bit more out of it so you can be competitive at your local event. So to start things off, as you see here, we have your leader, which is Cell. Cell is a pretty cool leader. He has auto when you first play him to allow you to put the Cell Games Arena field extra card into play. But at that point, you're not allowed to play any other field spells. Then it has Activate Main, where you can put a green or a yellow card from your hand underneath Cell to crit yourself on life and draw 2 cards. And then lastly, which is the best part about him, is the Awaken condition, which is he awakens if both you and your opponent have 4 energy between yourselves. So either way, you're going to be able to awaken on command, and at awakening, he draws 2 cards. On the back side, we have Cell and Cell Jr. Endless Supremacy. Pretty cool card. He has the same activate main as the front side, but he has an additional activate main that allows you to take 2 cards that are underneath him and send it to the drop area to create 2 Cell Jr. tokens. So this deck is based around the Cell Jr. tokens and getting as much advantage out of them as you can. The Cell Jr. tokens themselves are 10k with 5 combo power. So you could have 2 additional attackers. You could also just generate extra combo power for defense, depending on what the matchup calls for. So with that in mind, let's start with Cell Games Arena. A lot of people malign this card. I actually think it is an amazing card because it gives an extra layer of defense to your cell chain. Usually, you would make your cell chain and people would just remove it because there's a lot of removal in the format right now. But because if you have your Cell Jr. tokens out there, if your cell is removed by means of your opponent card effect, you could banish the Cell Jr. token, choose a cell that is 9 or less from your deck or drop area, add it back to your hand, and then make your opponent discard 1 card at random. So, pretty powerful effect. It makes them have to think a little bit about what their situation is to remove that cell. Now, besides the leaders, we do have one additional way to generate tokens, and that is by running 4 of Cell Jr. Minions Unleashed. Good effect. It allows you to pitch it from your hand or to sack it from the field in order for you to generate a Cell Jr. token. So early on, just to make sure you have that extra protection that is granted by the field extra card, you could just pitch one from your hand, make a Cell Jr. token. You still attack with that token and all that stuff. And your opponent has to clear the token before they could clear your cell. Then to take advantage of additional tokens that are out there, we run 2 Pernicious Progeny. This card is actually pretty excellent. Its effect is that you could banish up to 2 tokens to tap that many of your opponent cards. So you could choose Energy Battle card or Leader. And then it has another activate, and that's activate battle, by the way, so you could do it during their combat. And then the activate main is to be able to pay yellow while it's in your drop area to return it to your hand. So that's why I only run 2. You only need to see it once in the game, and then you have the ability to use it multiple times. And also, this is a good anti-hand control card. They make you discard a card. You discard this, and then you just pay yellow and get it back. Now, speaking of cell, we're going to start with our cell chain. Start with 1. We have 4 of the 1-drop cell genetic consumption. Its effect is that you can absorb Android 17, Union absorb Android 17 from your drop area underneath this card, and it will play a 4-drop cell from either your deck or your hand on top of it in active mode. That is a very good point because if you need to go aggro, you could swing with it, combo the 17 that might be in your hand or on the field, get an attack through, then absorb the 17 and go into the 4-drop cell in active mode. Speaking of the 4-drop cell, here he is right here. Cell Perfection Reclaimed. Cool card again. Its effect is Union Absorb, pay green to absorb an Android 18 in your drop area underneath them to make the 8-drop cell in this chain. He has an additional effect that if you have 4 more energy, when this card is sent to the drop area by means of a skill, you get to play the 8-drop cell from the drop area. And as far as like where he gets your 8-drop cell from, he gets it from either the deck or the drop area. So he's like really, really cool. Like if you happen to mill a cell or something like that, you can always get it back. And it goes back to his effect for the 8-drop cells, why that's really good. Then we have the 8-drop cell. His effect is when he comes to the play, he pops a card. Doesn't matter what the cost is. And then when the opponent's card attacks, you could take the Android 18 from underneath him, send it to the drop area, send him to the drop area, and then play the 4-drop cell into the battle area to negate the attack. So what this creates is a loop. So when they attack, you sack the cell off and make him. Then on the following turn, you pay green and you make him again by absorbing the 18 that's in the drop area, so that you get to pop another one of their cards. And then that makes it so every turn you get a negate on their turn and then a pop on your turn, all for 1 energy. So just in case, they feel that they need to get rid of the cell, which they will, because even if they try to attack into it, you just negate the attack and it's kind of pointless. We have this cell revolting regenerator, which is added layer of protection on top of the Cell Games Arena. If your 7 cost or higher Android is removed from the battle area by your opponent's skill, you get to play him out, assuming you don't already have one of them out on the table, and pop a 5-drop or less, and then you can't play him for the rest of the turn. Now, we spoke about 17 and 18s need to be absorbed. So the first 17 we are running is Android 17 Impending Crisis. This is your body negate. You pay 1, you negate the attack, and you play him into play. He's really cool because his effect happens when he comes into play is that he dumps a 4-drop or lower card with Android in his name to the drop area. Then the other Android 17 I'm choosing to use is Endless Malice Android 17. This card is actually better than a lot of people think it is. I see people trying to run the yellow Android 17 from the set 9, which is it's a cool card, but it doesn't work in this deck because of Cell Games Arena. You have to have no cards in your battle area, and your field extra card is in your battle area. So you won't be able to play that card for free. This guy comes out for 2. I know he's only 10k, but he has a burst 3 effect, which allows you to give him 5k in crit. And that effect is actually kind of handy because it allows you to possibly get a missing piece into the drop area like at 18 or whatnot, just in case the game is going really, really wrong. And then later in the game, as you're grinding them out, it gives you a crit attacker to be able to hit them without giving them any resources. As far as the 18s go, we run 4 Android 18 Imminent Danger. This card is actually quite amazing. When it's in the drop area, you could pay 1, warp it, and then you can bring a 1-drop Android from your drop area back to your hand. So that's both the negate as well as your 1-drop cell piece that we showed you earlier. There's actually a little bit of a loop with this in the negate where you can negate, put that in the drop area, combo off the negate on the following attack, banish 1, bring a negate back, negate, drop another 1, combo, and keep that going as well. So this deck is, like I said, pretty good at grinding if need be. Then we have 2 Android 18 Bionic Blitz, which is our super combo. This card is actually way better than a lot of people give it credit for, but everybody knows it's good. But it's just way better than they give it credit for. So as I mentioned, the Cell Games Arena, going back to this, gives a little bit of hand control. This also provides a little bit of hand control as well as being useful to your strategy. When you combo with this and there's no life restriction on it, your opponent takes a card from their hand and put it on the bottom of their deck. So that's enough to make things just a little uncomfortable. A lot of people think with hand control you have to play a whole lot of it, but you only really need, a few cards here and there that takes a card away from your opponent to make them have to think. Now, moving on from the cell pieces, we have our next super combo, which actually kind of goes with it, is Dr. Gero, Progenitor of Terror. When you super combo with this card, you could take a battle card that is 4 or less and put it into your drop area. So that's useful to get the missing cell piece that you might have, or the next card I'm going to show you. That is the Win Condition Engine, which is 2 Super Saiyan Son Goku Valiant Breakthrough. This card is pretty cool. If your opponent has 4 or more energy, you can play him for free from your hand. And then auto, when you play him, you could tap one of your opponent's cards. Now, a lot of times we want one in your hand, but you also don't mind just having them be in the drop area for the next card. Super Saiyan 2 Son Gohan Wounded Victor. So he has triple strike, successor for 1 green and a yellow. Successor is a key word that says you have to sack mono green, mono yellow, or green yellow cards equal to the cost of this card in order to play it for that reduced cost. And when he attacks, you get to combo with a Son Goku in your drop area, a yellow Son Goku in your drop area, which your target would be this guy. And this guy, when he's comboed by the Gohan, has the effect to put him into active mode. So, great card. You get 2 attacks out of it. Pretty powerful. And I'll show you a combo a little later on with that. Sorry about that. I keep hitting this damn camera. With your loop and popping, it allows you to play Frieza Surprise Attack, which is a free 15k 4-drop, which is significant, crit attacker, which is also significant. So because that's free, and this guy here is free, and usually because you have negated an attack, your 4-drop cell is free, right here, it allows you to easily pay for the successor of the Gohan so that you don't have to worry about how you're going to get up to 8 on the board or having to sack the cell itself. And then we have Analyzer, the Soaring Colossus. This card is basically there to be a source of energy. You're never going to really actually play it, but it has a nifty effect where multicolored cards in this game, usually when you charge them as energy exhaust, he ignores his energy exhaust, so there's already a multicolored card in your drop area. I mean, on your energy area. Then we have a couple slots left for utility. I run 2 Artificial Impact. That allows us to be able to destroy a card, ignoring barrier, and then make your opponent discard a card at random. Again, just a little bit of hand control, and destroying stuff with barrier is pretty significant nowadays due to Invoker. And then last but not least, I run 2 Pretty Black Hole, which is from Draft Box 5. I'm giving this card a test, but honestly, it could be Shocking Death Ball. You just need to have 2 actual negates because of the Goku Vegeta Victory Strike card. Without that card, you run into a situation where your opponent plays it and your cell can't negate it and your Android 17 can't negate it. So you need something to be able to negate it. And this will be it. Just to explain what it does. You get to negate the attack like any other negate, but then you get to choose one of your battle cards, negate its effect, and then sack it. And then you could choose opponent battle cards up to the total cost of the card that you sacked to destroy on the field. So it's pretty nuts. Now, I promised to show you a combo. I'll just show it to you real quick. So, assuming that you had the 8-drop sellout, it was all absorbed up, and you negated an attack, and now you're left with this cell on the table. If you could then play the Goku, you're going to tap one of their energy. Cool. And then it'll allow you to have whatever guys you had on the table to be able to attack with. So you attack with those guys, attack with the Goku, attack with the Cell. Then you could pay the successor of the Gohan, sacking the Goku and the Cell to play the Gohan. The Cell will trigger and get you back the 8-drop Cell. So you had at least just from that having 1, 2, 3 attacks, 4, 5 on that turn. That's not even counting your leader or whatever else you had on the table. And usually when you're going in on that final turn, that's enough to take people down. So hopefully you like that deck profile. Stay tuned for more. We are all home nowadays, so let's get through this.